All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Acer Team Story Cup Season 3 qualifiers. Ugh. This is, of course, Team Bounty Hunters versus Vega Squadron. We've kind of joined into the latter half of the series. It's currently 4-3 in the favor of Bounty Hunters, and that puts Vega Squadron on one of their last lives. They've chosen to bring back one of the best players they probably have for this possible scenario. We'll talk about that more in a second. Spawning in the northern location from Team Bounty Hunters, it's going to be MC.
And the bottom position as the red Protoss, it is Elfi.
Of course, Elfi really well known for his PvP in a big way. I think him and Welmu are pretty much like some of the scariest players you could possibly fight when it comes to PvP, and MC is going to be no exception to this. Like, we can try and build this up whatever way you guys want, but the reality is Elfi's got a pretty good shot going up against MC right now.
Think so, but then he has to worry about who they either bring out next or revive for the ace match.
Yeah, it's interesting too. I've actually, from Season 2, we talked with some of the players, made a couple like really cheesy interviews here and there, and one of the key things is like the players themselves, they don't really think about that. It's all the managers, like 100%. There's not a single player we talked to last season that was like, you know what, I was really worried about losing him or winning because then I'd have to fight the next player. Like, they're focused on the game at hand, and rightfully so, because if Elfi's busy thinking about game number 2 before he's even out of game number 1, then he's not even going to stand a chance. So hopefully, I don't even know who's left on Bounty Hunter's roster, but the reality is they've got one of the scariest teams in the Acer Team Story Cup, just from the players they have associated with them.
Yeah. But we haven't casted a PvP yet. I feel like it's been actually a long time, surprisingly, with how many complaints there are about Protoss.
Yeah, I mean, even like go for StarCraft Zotex, has been not that many PvPs. But Elfi sitting here opening up with a little bit of a heavier gas opening. Did start with 2-2, but now fully saturated. So is MC as well. Both players playing pretty much to the T to one another. Very much mirrored on the production line. Yeah,
both even getting the scouts in at the exact same time. Sees everything and is able to stay around until the Stalker comes out.
Such a nuisance too, because you're right, exactly that. Like, you can't hide tech. You have to put down your second pylon or your third pylon in base. That probe, I mean, it's going to be around to see that, make sure there's no proxies. Because if MC, for example, doesn't put down a third pylon, and, well, I mean, we know see it go down here, but if Elfi sees the third pylon, he knows, okay, there's no proxies, I can go back home, it's like be the biggest deal in the world.
Yeah.
That is actually a big problem with PvP too. A lot of players will be they'll hide their Dark Shrine in like the far left corner of the map. Stargate will get proxied around the 4th. I mean, it's really difficult in PvP, and this is a matchup where, let's be honest, guys, a lot of you could really break this down whatever way you want to cheese, but oftentimes build order wins happen due to lack of scouting. But both these players scouting, it was actually pretty key to make sure that this game doesn't end early. Now, did Elfi actually see MC's Twilight Council? He did not.
I don't think they saw either Twilight Council.
Oh, did MC not see that? Oh no, he didn't. Yeah, neither Twilight Council revealed at this point, but I gotta say, I really like this opening. Whether this leads to eventual Dark Templar, or though it's just for a standard Blink opening, I've been a big advocate and big fan of Blink in PvP, because I kind of feel if you do it right, even Immortals aren't exactly a direct counter.
Well, 2 more gateways for MC. Elfi chooses to go for the Blink first. This could be TTs for MC. Unfortunately, oh, no, it's Blink, okay. I was going to talk about how Twilight Council is pretty much the only tech pack that you can get that doesn't actually have anything against CT, which is why you get a relatively early Robo as well, because you're going to lose the TTs, but it doesn't matter. Both players going for Blink.
This Sentry is kind of the big part of that too. Like, when you know, like, DTs can only hit within the next minute of the game at the earliest, so there's no way you can like cut probes and make them come out at the 5-minute mark or anything like this. So
yeah. Even
though there's not detection, all Elfi has to do is like, okay, 6 minutes 30 seconds. Look at the ramp. Is there a blur? No, I don't need a force field. I'm good to go.
Yeah. Plus, they both got the Robos, like I was talking about.
Yeah. So I mean, they'll be able to buy themselves time too, even if there was going to be Dark Templar. But again, strangely, just how incredibly similar they are playing. MC makes the first big deviation by placing down a proxy pylon before Elfi. Blink is it's a very fickle thing to deal with. I mean, intense micro is required for this in a big way, and I don't mean to say that casually, because it's like, well, duh, Rift in StarCraft 2, micro's always important, but Blink micro, you can tell a player who plays Blink micro with finesse, or whether it's someone who's just grabbing a bunch of stalkers and hoping to blink them back. I mean, was it Puck and Arthur are probably my 2 favorite players when it comes down to Blink micro, although MC and Elfi are going to be pretty up there when it comes to control.
Looks like Elfi is going to scout this pylon. MC not choosing to use it yet. but Elfi can't really confidently push out to go snipe it either, so it's gonna stay there for a while.
Yeah, again, the scary thing is neither of them scouted their advanced tech path, so as far as Elfi's aware, MC could possibly have a Stargate out. Oracle could be in his mineral lines at any moment. Phoenix is even.
Yeah, that's right.
But with a lot of Stalkers right now, I mean, MC's looking pretty good. Stalker count's going to be everything. Again, you can get Immortals out, but if you've only got one Immortal and your opponent has like 15 Stalkers, they can just blink and focus it down, and it's really a non-issue.
Yeah, 3 Immortals is pretty much where Blink Stalkers get just, you know, they can't do anything anymore. But up until then, you can go ahead and try and win out just by pure micro. Both players really not looking forward to, you know, ending the game here, though. They didn't get really great scouting, so they didn't know that both of them were going for Blink Stalkers, so they didn't even try to do any...
I don't like said Elfi. He sees the Stalkers too, decides to try and pull back.
Runs away, yeah. That's the better option than trying to run past who's a Stalker and blink up with your main.
He's just going to do exactly what MC's doing to him. He's going to go apply pressure to the natural of his opponent. So both looking to cancel. I mean, the situation here for Elfi was he could have tried to defend that. I mean, you'll see some players even try to do that, but the reality is it was going to be rough no matter what. He would take some sort of loss. So instead, he's going to try and cancel his opponent's natural base, which I don't know if he's got the damage for, unfortunately.
No, not with the Immortal popping out for MC. He does have to go back. So that was really unfortunate. Not able to keep his natural where his opponent is going to be far, far ahead. In fact, MC going up to the Colossus very fast. Both still up, by the way, in very similar positions.
This is going to be rough, though. I mean, MC's going to lose a Stalker. Okay, that's fine for now, but he's got a natural base up over his opponent in a big way. I mean, this is finishing in a second's time, and Elfi just had to remake his after canceling it.
Yeah, MC's also ahead in probes. Elfi just started again, I suppose. Getting a Forge instead of, you know, any secondary tech. This... I mean, obviously it'll help out in the long run to have better upgrades, but not right now.
Of course, MC can always blink to give chase.
Yep.
Blinking on the high ground, though, once it comes off cooldown, Elfi should be able to get most of these Stalkers out. But you're right, this is the time too, by the way, you mentioned it before, 3 Stalkers, or sorry, 3 Immortals is going to be the magic number that starts shutting Stalkers down as it pretty much destroys them. The nice thing about Immortals versus Blink is that there's no projectiles for the Stalkers to juke out, so that makes them so much more effective.
Good point. The natural of Elfi is going to finish up right now. Looks like Elfi is thinking about pushing out. You know, even though MC got the Colossus first, a lot of Immortals can actually be more powerful, especially if you have a nice arc and it's a good map for attacking the natural. That might be what Elfi's looking to do, knowing that he is behind.
Yeah, and specifically in low numbers like this. There's only going to be 1 Colossus. It's not like 5 that eat all the shields of the Immortals up right away with the splash damage. So pushing forward like this, I mean, it's a pretty even army supply. Elfi's got to be careful. This is 4-9 overcharge as well for defense.
Yeah, the Defender's advantage doesn't really work out the same in PvP, but it's still kind of there thanks to the cannon.
If you can catch that one Immortal, good start to this fight here for Elfi. This force field's so clutch, but now there's a Colossus out to replace it. And I believe Elfi did see the talent of that with that Observer as was leaving. So a little unfortunate as he's forced to disengage, but a good sniper there on that Immortal.
Yeah, that was nice. I mean, I don't think he was really looking forward. Maybe if MC literally had nothing over there except his Blink Stalkers, he would try and push in, but he wasn't really looking forward to ending the game right there. And behind this, he was just probing up. MC actually stops at 34, so not really a lot of probes there. Still no... Oh, okay, actually throws down the Bodix Bay.
But this is kind of a scenario we see a lot in PvP, where I gotta be honest, I've only seen it happen once or twice, but I'm a huge fan of watching players who are behind in the Colossus count go for the Stargate, go for the Tempest instead. Because Colossus, the reality is Elfi's probably gonna have about 1 by the time MC's got about 3 or 4. And off of 2 bases, you can't really afford to put down the second robo to catch up.
There are some responses to when you're not the first one doing the Colossus, and that is, you know, going for Tempests, which can be really scary. Just going for like Charge Out Archon, just something different, or getting like double Robo, and like just putting everything into a bunch of Colossus faster. Obviously, Elfi's just gonna try and do middle of the road type of thing, and you know he's gonna have better upgrades, but they won't really make up for a 2 Colossus deficit.
No, certainly not. War Person would be kind of a cool thing to get in here too, but again, that's something that Elvis likes to be able to afford to make because he needs to put his time into the Colossus. But you know, again, he's still got a pretty strong Immortal count. Was it 5-3 at the moment? 6-2 actually. So that may come into effect here. We'll see in a second as he tries to push forward. Colossus are going to strip the Immortals of their Hardened Shield pretty quick, but Elfi takes off another Immortal, and I mean, literally PvP sniper here. Gets in, gets out. Big recall. Nice move out of Elfi.
I liked that. I did. Still, he's behind. And MC, I think he's going to try and push now. I mean, he has a big, good army. He knows what Elfi's army looks like. And now he knows that the Militia Corps doesn't even have a cannon ready.
Elfi's also on his way to level 2 weapon upgrade, so I'm not sure that's going to give him complete time for this. He's got no real area of effect. He's got the one Colossus to deal with these Zealots. He doesn't have his own Zealot count either, which is really scary. There's no buffer for him. And in Protoss versus Protoss, guys, there's layers to your army, right? And right now, Elfi's kind of missing one of the big ones, and that's the front line.
Doesn't have extended thermal lance quite yet. It will finish by the time MC decides to really push in.
Yeah, he's waiting on purpose for this, guys. But as we see, the Immortals just being chipped away at here from afar. Big damage going off. Now with 2 of his own Colossus is looking to be a bigger contender for this fight. Again, Colossus are really big. They compact and expand quickly. I mean, it's all about how many you have available. A small Zealot run by to the natural base of MC while this is going on. Elfi posturing. Gotta be careful getting stuck behind that Nexus, though.
Yeah. 4 Colossus versus just 2. A lot of Immortals still on the ground for Elfi, but they need to connect with Colossus, not the Zealots.
Yeah, this is, again, that layer I was talking about just missing out, but cleans up the Zealots here of MC, now looking to push forward with the Immortals. Not a lot to actually protect against this. If he can take out all these Stalkers, then he moves in against the Colossus, but unfortunately loses so many Immortals very quickly. 3 Colossus standing versus this Stalker count that blinks forward very aggressively. Somehow, Elfi keeps this 1 Colossus alive, though. Now 3 to 4, looking at a much better spot. This Mothership Core, though, has nothing to shoot at MC. Just raining hell from above with a very weak unit, but one that's so critical. This is looking really rough for Elfi. He's done a great job with his attack, and he had a great defensive posture, but that being said, when you're down in Colossus, you're down in Colossus. Now 3 to 1, and no Stalkers to buffer. And again, this Mothership Core just raining damage down from above. Good game is going to be called. Ladies and gentlemen, Bounty Hunters will knock out Vega Squadron 5 to 3. I like PvP games like that. That is so much more fun to watch than like proxy gates. I'm just saying. Social commentary.